first of all, thank you for making such an amazing film. We were talking before outside in terms of how this came to you. This was the old-fashioned way. It was a pitch, but what was it like in terms of like, okay, so you're going, you're obviously that's this is a really appetizing topic, Nina Simone, but was it a question for you of your passion for her, or is it a question like, oh my God, I get to get my hands on this archive, which has just got to be catnip for a documentarian?
Yeah. I was invited to pitch myself as a director by Radical Media, the company which originated the project, and I had been a huge Nina Simone fan since college, but I didn't know her life story at all. I knew her music and obviously was aware of her politics through the music, but not the person. So I picked up her autobiography and started to read about this life from her point of view, and of course it was quite extraordinary. And her transcendence as an artist, her personal struggles, her commitment, her survival, were all things which just struck me like as a piece about an extraordinary human being. That's what I had here, and also an incredible artist and someone who was uncompromising, really, truly uncompromising. And it's a word that's overused, and I think that she's one of the few people for whom it's really true. The archival was not, there for the taking. The archival was a result of a, 7 or 8, 9 month hunt around the world. I want to acknowledge my producer, Amy Hobby, who's here over there, who, was the warrior, on that hunt with me for all that time. And we started approaching the film from an archival point of view. We wanted to collect as much of Nina Simone and whatever she left behind from anywhere she left it. And as you know from seeing the film, she led quite a
How the hell do you do that?
Yeah,
I mean, it's like there's no. I mean, Google. That's the place where I think Google's going to be of limited use.
That's right. Well, there's some stuff that's just there, right? And then you can get, and that's you do that. And then it's like a game of telephone. And because she's nomadic, it's an international, global game of telephone because she lived on so many different, she lived on at least, 3 continents for a good period of her life, 3 different ones. And, it would be, at one point I was like, well, she wrote an autobiography. She had a co-writer help her with that. Maybe he taped their conversations. We find him. He's in Australia. When he did the interviews, they were in France. Maybe they're in this house in France. We're going to wait until he goes, so it's like that kind of thing. And then sometimes it's surprising that you're talking to somebody that you think might give you one story, and then it turns out they know something about somebody else who had these tapes of Nina or these letters or diaries that she had shared with them. And Nina had a lot of different relationships, and she burned through relationships, so there wasn't also always a track of like, it's not that there were 2 people who were just, of course, her ex-husband, Andy Stroud, there was stuff in his estate, but so it was really a detective hunt, and it was, it was thrilling when you would find things. And then there were some broken hearts too. I mean, there were certain things that one, couldn't recover
because they just wouldn't give permission for it, or.
Yeah, I mean, there was like a garage in Switzerland which we thought maybe had more things in it, and it turned out to be just Xeroxes of stuff. It's those kinds of things where you're sitting and like, oh, how the hell did I get here? But it was exciting. And then, and then the idea was, from then on, we're going to shoot interview. We're going to shoot from a body of intimates, of people who were quite intimate with her to keep the film, really inside her or in her world.